Hello everybody, welcome back once again to the Final Fantasy Tactics walkthrough. The last video there we did the events in Garland Magic City. And here I'm trying to remember if we've got a cutscene coming up here. We've got some loading. Alright, come on. Alright, okay. Alright, so here we go. So here is a little scene with the Beowulf, I don't know, the family of the hero. I'm going to see if they'll actually mention the name again so I can see how it's spelt out. But, alright, so the end of the 50-year war, the Beowulf, I'm sure I am butchering that residence. Alright, so Balbanes here, or Balbanes. I'm going to say Balbanes. I like it. It sounds better. Balbanes. Yeah. That's the basically Ramza's father, as well as Dice Darg. Gosh, these names. They're crazy. And now I missed the name of the other brother here. I'm sure we'll see it again. Alright, so they've, it appears Balbanes and another one of the lords has worked out some sort of deal to end the war, I'm guessing. Zalbag, here we go. Okay, that was the other brother's name. Alright, so he's saying, take care of Ramza. He's your half brother, but he's still my flesh. So that's kind of some important info to have too. The older brothers are from, I assume, the same mother, whereas the two younger siblings here, Ramza and then Ramza's sister Alma, are from a different mother. So again, the two older brothers, full siblings. The two younger, full siblings as well. Alright. Never shame your name. Never tolerate injustice. Living true to your heart is the warrior's way, the Beowulf way. Delete is a good boy. He'll serve you well. Ask the dean to accept him into the academy. He will serve you well. Okay. And take good care. Obviously, Balbanes is sick or dying or something. We don't really know quite yet. But there he says, Delita will serve you well. So he's going to be some sort of servant to Ramza, apparently. Okay, so this is kind of like your last shot, I would say, to buy things here in Garland before heading to the next battle. On the map here, you can see the red dots are where a battle will occur when you cross over them. And then we actually won't get to see it, but later on, the cities that you're on will normally turn grayish color, and that just means that a battle will not happen there. Green dots on the map will signify places where random encounters could possibly occur. Sorry. It doesn't necessarily mean that it will, but it means that it can. So here in this first battle here, we're actually kind of what's the right word here? We can only take so many characters. Now, unfortunately, because of the fact that we're hauling around Delita with us, he will take up one of those spots. So that's an okay thing. I mean, Delita is not a bad character. It's just that, unfortunately, and especially for me, I would have rather been able to take one of my other squires along with me. But unfortunately, that's just not quite how it works. So here we've got a bunch of thieves that look like they're attacking someone. So apparently they're Deathcore. All right, so here you have a question, or a decision to make, and that's whether or not you want to save him or destroy the Deathcore. Now, it actually it doesn't matter. Sorry. What your decision here actually determines what the winning conditions are. So if you choose to save him, if Elgis at any point falls in combat, that's an automatic loss. So I would recommend not doing that. Now, if you say that your duty is to destroy the Death Core, you get, I guess, some bonus stats. I don't know that I ever actually checked that out, like, you know, whether or not that's actually true or not. But from what I read there, that is supposed to kind of boost your stats a bit. So to me, in all honesty, I feel like the top option is better. It may not seem like a very good idea from like a story or role-playing standpoint, but you know, again, it actually makes the battle a lot easier. And so anyway, so you see Delita here, you know, basically protesting the decision. I don't actually remember what he says if you decide to save Elgis. I'm not 100% sure on that, but Delita obviously is running over towards him. Now, Elgis is another guest, so he's, you know, obviously not going to be controllable, much like Delita. But he does a really good job here. I mean, he wrecked that thief right there, sent him running. And he's kind of interesting. So, Elgis, Ramza, and Delita are all kind of interesting because they've got their base class, the Squire, is all kind of a variation on the basic Squire. And what I mean by that is Ramza, for instance, has, you know, Yell as one of his extra abilities in the Squire job, and Wish. Delita the same, other than he doesn't have Yell, but he does have Wish. And then Elgis is interesting as well. He's got, actually don't remember all of the different ones that he's got, but he actually has a couple that are taken from the night job. I think he's got like Head Break, and there's one more really strange one for him. But you'll notice that that's the case with a lot of the I would call them named characters or special characters. They usually have special jobs or, you know, special abilities within jobs. We'll kind of talk about that more once we actually recruit some more of those special characters. But for the time being, just know that there's variations, especially between Ramza, Delita, and Elgis here, which, you know, I think it's kind of interesting. It's I mean, especially Elgis, I actually didn't even realize it. I didn't know that he had the like Head Break, and like I said, there's actually one more that comes from the night job, which I find is really interesting. Now, that being said, so what is Head Break anyway? It's a way for actually a character to break the equipment of an enemy character, and that can be actually extremely useful. So just know that is the case, and like I said, pretty interesting, and can definitely be useful. But anyways, all right. So for this battle, like I said, so being that I chose to destroy the Death Squad, it makes the battle conditions or the victory conditions much easier, and that's just, you know, basically to defeat everything. Now that's I shouldn't say that. That sounds funny. The victory conditions are the same either way. It's just the defeat conditions are easier with this. Obviously, if you chose to save Elgis as soon as he gets knocked out, I think that's an immediate loss. Now, the interesting thing with him, though, I don't remember 100% or not, but I think if he gets knocked out, there's just stars over his head, so he won't, you know, disappear or get completely eliminated. So here's I'm just going through some different stuff with the battle commands. The AT is very, very useful information. That's basically going to tell you, you know, the attack order. And that's really useful for predicting, you know, enemy turns and kind of deciding, you know, that'll help you make your decisions on, you know, oh, should I attack now, or do I need to absolutely heal one of my characters instead first. The enemy list is kind of useful. You can kind of go and see exactly what jobs the enemies have, as well as their stats. Here, that's what I'm kind of going through right now. Movement, jump, speed, all that kind of stuff is kind of useful information to have. I would say, again, and I mentioned this in one of the other videos, as far as stats, I really favor speed. Now, that might not mean a whole lot right now, but later on in the game, we're going to get, well, I should say, so the reason why it's maybe not as important right now is we just don't have as much or as many options as far as equipment. Later on in the game, though, we will pick up some items that will have, you know, bonuses to speed and, you know, attack and whatnot, and I tend to favor those speed bonuses. And here I'm just kind of going over all of the different stats here on the status screen. Again, this stuff is fairly important to know. Obviously, you've got like evasion stats, shield evasion stats. And then, like, I'm just kind of cruising around looking at the equipment, and the equipment specifically will tell you exactly what classes can, or sorry, jobs can equip them. So yeah, like I said, so there's actually a lot of stuff that you can do in combat just to kind of, I would almost say, help you out in your decision making. Oh man, Elgus crushed that dude. And then he's gonna run back. So often, or sometimes, I should say, sometimes the NPCs or the guest characters will do smart things. Other times, not so much. There's sometimes frustrating battles here and there just because you can't, again, because you can't control those guest characters. But that's kind of just how it goes, I guess. As far as the enemies go, the thief, I would say, is actually the most dangerous class here, especially because I'm running around with a bunch of female squires. So the thief here, being that it's a male, can use the Steel Heart command, and that's a job-specific ability. And what that's going to be able to do is they'll have a chance to charm your characters. So, like I said, that can be actually quite dangerous. You know, it can really, honestly, change the tide of battle, you know, from, or in the enemy's favor. Obviously, by taking one of your allies and turning it into an enemy temporarily, that can cause some issues. And so, like I said, that is, or the thief is actually a pretty dangerous enemy. And that'll be the case with pretty much all the thieves in the game. Enemy thieves anyway, they've always got that chance to, as long as they know the ability. I'm not sure if there's actually, and that's kind of one of the crummy things though about the enemies and looking up their stats is I don't believe there's a way to actually tell what abilities an enemy actually has. So you know, unfortunately, that's just kind of one of those things that you have to deal with too. I guess it's always safe to assume the worst though. In that, and what I mean by that is always assume that a thief has a steel heart. Always assume that, I guess every, you know, knight has the ability to break your equipment, and so on and so forth. So, just know that and I would say play accordingly. Other than that, though, this battle is not all that much, or is not all that difficult. Now, one thing that I want to mention here is that probably between this video and the next video, I'll be doing a bit of leveling, and so things are going to look quite different as far as random encounters. And what I mean by that is actually the random encounters in the game are all based off of, I believe it's Ramza's level. Otherwise, it might be just whatever character is the highest in your current, or of your current characters. Now, you know, what does that all mean? How does that affect anything? Well, storyline battles, I believe, always have like a set enemy level, whereas random encounters again are based off of the level of the high. Again, it's either Ramza or whoever has the highest level of all your characters. What that's really going to mean is, if you do any extra leveling, you're going to make the storyline battles much easier. Whereas random encounters could be a little bit more difficult because the equipment that shops offer you is completely dependent on your place in the story. So what does that mean? Well, if you sit around in the very beginning maps and just level like crazy, your level is going to be boosted up really high, and you'll have really easy storyline battles. But because you won't have access to the same equipment as you do later on in the game, that can cause you some issues with those random encounters. So again, I would say if you're not really all that familiar with the game, I would almost stick to not leveling and trying to avoid those random encounters and just kind of working on storyline. But if you're more familiar with the game, it won't be as big of an issue. But that being said, I've done a ton of leveling, and I'm already starting to feel that sometimes the battles get a little rough. So, I guess just keep that in mind. Now, I've got all my squires here actually have the item command, obviously taken from the chemist job. Now, like I mentioned in one of the other videos, unfortunately, that means that being that I'm still in the squire job, they can't throw the items, so they have to be right up next to the character when I actually go to use those. But still extremely useful to have that item command equipped, just because again then I can use potions, and I would say that's going to be extremely useful for the first couple of battles, just because it can be tough to live at the beginning of the game without some sort of way to heal yourself. So anyways, all right, so Algus is gonna throw a rock at this guy and finish him off. All right, so apparently Algus knows the Marquis, or the Marquis Elmador, who is a pretty substantial figure in the game. And it would appear I think he's been kidnapped. Okay, so Ramza says, hey, we're cadets from the military. Maybe we can help. Tell us more. And there's the big congratulations, and here's our bonus money. I believe bonus money is actually dependent on the level of the enemies. That's my assumption. I don't know how it's all actually calculated, but and then we got, what was that, two potions. That's always nice to get at the beginning of the game. I was down to, I think, 1 at the end of that battle. So things can get a little tight as far as money at the beginning of the game, but that won't be too much of an issue for long. As long as you're doing some random encounters. But anyways, all right. So we're making introductions with Elgus here. Beold. Boy, that's a tough one. Hopefully I'm not butchering it. Alright, so obviously Elgus is pretty excited. Alright, yep, and here he's been kidnapped. He'll be killed if we don't act quick. I don't know what I would do if... Okay, please help me. Alright, so obviously, as Delita thinks that if the death corpse took him, there must be a reason. And Ramza says we should go to Igros Castle. All right. Okay, so that is that. Now, if you really wanted to, I suppose you could go back to the Magic City Garland and run back and forth between the plains and the Magic City and Garland, and in that way you could actually get into random encounters. Now, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to head right to Igros Castle and take care of the rest of the story, and that will bring us to the end of this video. But the reason for that, though, as well, is there's actually some equipment that you can get at Igros Castle. So, anyways, all right. So who is this? I think this is okay, Kika. So this is one of my squires that I picked up, and obviously I'm learning gained GP up. I wanted that is one of the most important abilities, I would say, in the game. So that ability is just going to be something that's always active, and that's what this this third column is. So there, let's get that equipped. There we go. It's kind of like a passive, I would say. So it's just something that's going to be active all the time. Now, unfortunately, my fourth squire there, obviously, I was not able to bring her to that battle, and so she was not able to get any sort of JP or experience, which is a bit unfortunate. That puts her, unfortunately, behind the rest of my squires, which that'll all wash out eventually anyway. But for the time being, that kind of stinks actually, because the rest of the squires are going to have a substantial head start on her, because now for the next battle they're all going to have the gain to GP up JP. And what that actually does is increases the amount of job points you get in battle for all of your actions. So again, that's a really important ability, I would say. It's not absolutely needed, but the more, you know, the more if you have that equipped, the more bang you're getting for your buck, essentially. So all of your actions are going to be get you more JP. So. All right, so Dystarg here, we're meeting with him apparently in Igros Castle, and he basically congratulates Ramza for defeating the bandits, and he's basically said that they're on the case as far as the Marquis. And here, Alex, please let me have 100 soldiers. So he's completely going to town here. He's really excitable, and here. Dystarg is like, well, dude, calm down. We're already taking care of it, so just chill. And all right, so have you forgotten you're just a soldier without rank of knighthood? And there, obviously, he's pretty disappointed. And here he says, all right, so he wants us to guard Igros Castle, and danger. He says it shouldn't be too difficult. Danger won't get this close, you know, and. Just to summarize. And here, obviously, the three boys have left the castle, and Elgis is going to talk about his family, or his heritage, I suppose. So if I remember correctly here, so his grandfather made a deal to escape some attack or something like that, and somebody lived and basically told everyone about it. So basically he tried to sell everybody out, and so unfortunately his family name has been tarnished. Alright, so here are alright, so this is Dystarg, and then next to Dystarg is actually Tita. That's Delita's sister. And then obviously Elma is here as well, or Alma. Which, alright, so Zalbag is, I always feel like, so Dystarg must be the oldest, and then Zalbag is the second, and then obviously Ramza being the youngest of the three brothers. I always feel like, you know, Zalbag is a little bit closer to Ramza, and, I don't know if I'd say has a soft spot for him, but he's definitely more kind to him, I would say, than Dystarg is. Alright, so here he's saying the Death Corps has demanded a ransom, and they claim to be anarchists, but they only rob from the wealthy. Alright, the spy we sent still hasn't returned. Nobles say there's no reason to search for his whereabouts. And okay. So there's our clue. And then here I like his last words. Guarding a castle is boring work, don't you think? Basically encouraging Ramza to find out what happened. Alright, so Tita here and Delita are obviously really close. Same with Ramza and Alma. So those two have a pretty close relationship, as well as you know, Ramza and Alma. And here she's you know, warning Ramza that Tita is not doing so great. She's being bullied in school because of her rank. Which, you know, obviously meaning social status of some sort. Okay, I think that's about it as far as the dialogue for this area. So hopefully now I'll go check out the equipment or the shops. As far as rumors, I believe the bar has the same exact rumors as Magic City Garland, so not much reason, I guess, to check into that. But I am going to take a look at the shop. So, like I was saying earlier, there's some different equipment here, and I would say there's definitely some upgrades. Longsword being one of them. Algus actually has a longsword as well, so if I would actually say it's probably a good idea to take that from him and equip it on one of your characters, just to kind of give you a little bit of a boost. That won't be all that significant for long, but yeah, again, so I'm just gonna kind of cruise around and try to equip my characters as best I can right now. Unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of money since I spent a bunch on new squires at the beginning of the game, so that's kind of set me back as far as equipment goes, but we'll make do. But anyways, this video is coming to a close here, so I'm going to cut the commentary, but I hope this guide was helpful, and as always, hope you join me for more. All right, thanks for watching.